The Episcopal Strategic Mission and Empowerment Training Program of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion Bishops has ended with the bishops thankful to the Archbishop Metropolitan and Primate Most Reverend Henry Ndokoba for seeing the urgency in this area of the ministry of the Church and for acting right to sensitize the bishops. This training program was done in partnership with the El Rehoboth Leadership Foundation, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Sequoia Agri Group, Intercessors for Africa, the Ministry Fundraising Network, the Church of Nigeria Investment Chairman, Right Reverend Chidi Oparo-Jako. The training cut across mission strategies dealing with idolatry and syncretism in mission enterprise, economic sustainability, effective resource management, fundraising and mobilization, agricultural potential for economic empowerment.
That's what God is taking the church to master the act of evangelism. Don't act of evangelism.
Now, there's no way we can do agriculture as an activity without having physical facility, farm, that is working, okay? Which is what some people call demonstration farms.
Jesus said we must bind the strong man. And we saw the apostles confronting forces of darkness, powers of darkness, confronting, sorcerers, confronting magicians, confronting astrologers and stargazers, who by their activity have bound a city.
And if you don't do anything and the price of food hits the roof, inflation will follow it in that order. So what are we talking about?
The mission enterprise needs a lot of resources. It's not just funding, personnel and people. It's the main resource of missions. And material resources are needed. Leadership is needed. Influence is another resource. Finances is another resource. And expertise is another resource.
Now, so people should be employed in their training area to help them get results. That's I went to, let me not make sure. The accountant of the diocese didn't study accounting. He saw the red Igbo, but he's accountant of the diocese, and they're complaining.
Some of the bishops who attended this training were happy to have been present. They also gave their thoughts on the mission strategy.
Some of the topics that have been covered include evangelism in practical terms and missions, organizing mission and missionaries to go out and be sent by the church.
First and foremost, we must say that this program is a welcome idea. We have been doing missions. What this gathering is all about is the urgency now and the way forward, how to go about it now that we need to do it,
Mission is the DNA of the church. We've been actually revived again and then be reminded that we should be the catalysts, mobilizers of mission. And that mission is the cardinal goal of the church. And the bishops are strategically located to really reach out the world. I think it's a wonderful thing. We've been so much revived, so much challenged for the task ahead. I think it's a new development, a new zeal evolving in our church.
We appreciate God also for our primate, for this vision, because I'll say conclusively that it was his own vision and his own making, his dream actually. Every bishop, by my own assessment and understanding, has been spurred to go home and make exploits.
The host bishop, Right Reverend James Odedeji, saw the task of hosting bishops and archbishops as a privilege to serve and a blessing. He appreciated Primate for coming up with such an epoch-making program.
When the challenge of hosting this Episcopal strategic meeting was said to me in one of our meetings, I saw it as an opportunity to serve and a privilege to contribute my own little quotas to the growth of the Church of Nigeria And since we began the same, I have seen it as a blessing. And I noticed that it is a very rich program. The Primate meant well. Nobody can be effective without a mission-oriented. And I've also discovered that a lot have been injected into us, even as church leaders, to ensure that the mission of yesterday is what we are enjoying today. And the mission of today is what others will come into. Like the Bible tells us in John chapter 4, that some have labored and we have entered their rest. So also we must also labor so that those who are coming behind us will have a good legacy to work with. So